at a circle graph and how to read it and interpret it, and then we'll actually draw one out here in a little bit. So an Olympic softball pitcher has thrown 680 pitches. So it's important to know that, right? That's the total number of pitches during the first part of the season. The following circle graph shows the results of her pitches. Use the circle graph and the accompanying questions to fill these out. Alright, so what category has the fewest pitches? Well, if we're looking at percentages here, so this is out of 100%. So of the 100%, it looks like 12% were strikes, and that's the fewest pitches. So she pitched strikes the fewest. Alright, and then what percent of the pitches were hits? Well, that's our 17% here. So again, this is just practice with reading a circle graph, making sure we understand how to interpret it. How many pitches were balls? And so if we want to know how many, we don't want to know just the percentage, but we see that, so we'll do some work here, we see that 50% were balls. And so if we want to know how many, we're going to take our total, which is 680, times 0.5, which is our 50%. And that's going to give us 340. So 340 were balls. How many pitches were either hits or balls? So if it's either hits or balls, we want our hits and our balls. So that means that we want either hits or balls. So we actually want 50% plus 17%. So we want to know 67% of 680. Alright, so this is going to be 680 times 0.67. Remember, we moved that decimal 2 places to change the percent to a decimal so that we can multiply. So 680 times 0.67. And that gives me 455.6. So we're going to go ahead and just round that to 456. So 456 were either balls or hits. All right, and what percent of pitches were outs? Well, what percent of pitches were outs? That's 21%. So keep in mind here, if it is asking for the percent, we just read that straight off the circle graph. However, if it's asking for how many, then we want to take the percent that is associated with that category and multiply by the total number.